Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to a For Honor Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about the Raider and how I like to use this particular character. The Raider is one of the Vanguard characters within the Viking faction. He has an easy difficulty rating, as well as he is adaptable and straightforward. His base stats are his health is set to 140, his stamina is set to 130, and his sprint speed is set to 2.4 milliseconds. Now with all this being said and done, let's go ahead and jump on right on over to his feats, starting with his tier 1 feats. So his tier 1 feats are Rush, which is triggered to gain movement speed for a short duration, Tireless, which is a passive ability, lose stamina at a slower rate, and Body Count, which is a passive ability. Killing soldiers grants you health and stamina. His tier 2 feats are Marked for Death, reveal targets' positions, lower their stamina and defense, and increase renown gain upon kills. Inspire, allies and yourself deal more damage and soldiers fight faster. And finally, Bear Trap, set a trap that damages and stops victims in their tracks. His tier 3 feats are Second Wind, which is recover some of your health, Fury, raise sprint speed slightly, attack and defense greatly, and Battle Cry, allies and yourself deal more damage, discourages enemy soldiers to attack. And finally, for his tier 4, he has Fire Flask, throw a projectile creating a fire effect over an area, Stalwart Banner, nearby allies continuously regain health, and Slippery, activate to block all grab attempts for a while. So there's a couple of things that you can do with the Raider. There's a couple of ways that I like to play as the Raider for one. One, specifically since I play a lot more Breach than anything, I will play more as the push the ram, stay on the ram kind of guy. Run up to the ramparts, kind of take those real quick, but then my main focus is on that ram. So for me, with that particular build, I'm always running Body Count instead of Tireless and Rush. Just to get that extra healing and stamina back from that, so I can kind of fight in the minions, get health back and stamina back from that, so I can keep killing them pretty easily. For his tier 2, I would use Inspire. Allies and yourself do more damage and soldiers fight faster, which is true. There's also, whenever you're at the gate buffing the ram, you can also pop Inspire. And while you are double buffing the ram, that bar actually will fill up a little bit quicker with Inspire on, rather than just double buffing it by yourself. So that is something to keep in mind as well with Inspire. For his tier 3, and for this particular build, I would use Battle Cry. Allies and yourself do more damage. But the only thing that I would say in this particular case, in Breach, you do not discourage any enemy soldiers to attack. In Dominion, whenever you pop Battle Cry, they enemy soldiers, usually on B or C, depending on the map, will then run away from you. They'll flee back to the other end of their zone, if you will, on B. So which allows you to help take it a little bit quicker. So do keep that in mind if you do use Battle Cry during Breach. And finally, for his tier 4, again, depends if I'm attacking or defending. If I'm defending, I'm always going to use Stalwart Banner. That helps keep the commander up a little bit longer than normal whenever he does take some damage. But if I'm attacking, I'll also use Fire Flask. So that is if I'm specifically going to be on the ram or, taking the ramparts and the ram, which is usually what I do in Breach. Now, if you want to be specifically take the rampart and stay up on the Cauldron type of Raider, and kind of, prolonging all that as much as you can, there's a couple other things that you could do with the Raider at this particular case, which is also another build that I run with him, which I would run Tireless for that build, which is you lose stamina at a slower rate. I would use then Marked for Death, which reveals the target's position, so people know, hey, someone's coming, or hey, I'm fighting somebody at that particular moment. Which that also will lose, that will lower their stamina as well as their defenses. So if you have a Jormungandr with you as well, that's great for them. You know, give them out of stamina, boom, you can get your 50 damage in if you're a Jormungandr. And on top of that, you'll get more renown upon the kill, which is awesome. That's great to have. Now for his tier 3, in this particular case, I would use Fury more than Second Wind. Those two are kind of a toss-up, really, for his tier 3. If you're going to go for more of a, I want to stay up on the objective and do this type of thing, or the ramparts rather. But with his perks, he does have Devour, hence why I'm not running Second Wind in this particular case. I would rather use Fury in this particular case, which allows me to increase my sprint speed, but also increases my attack and defense. That allows me to stay up there a little bit longer, do more damage, and get somebody out of there pretty quickly. On top of that, while you're waiting for someone to come in, hence why I don't use Second Wind as well, you can always kill that commander that walks up there, or that officer, I'm sorry. You can kill him up there to also get you some health back. Hence why I don't use Second Wind, where I use Fury more. And again, for his tier 4, the same thing. If I'm attacking or defending, it's Fire Flask or Stalwart Banner. Now, Slippery can come into, it can help in some situations, depending on the type of person that you're going up against. A lot of people will, specifically with the guard, or with the commander right there at the end, will specifically try to guard break you, so where he can hit you and then everyone can kind of just do their top heavies and kill you instantly. So that could definitely help if you don't want to run Fire Flask. So Fire Flask right now only helps a Sunda. If they do have if someone's in fire, they do more damage. If that's the only thing that particular thing will help. So keep that in mind as well. So that could be beneficial too. Instead of Fire Flask, you could definitely run Slippery. That's also a great thing as well. Now for his perks, I run Devour, Endurance, and Fresh Focus. I love those 3 perks on the Raider. That is a great combo to have. Everything else that he has kind of perk-wise, in my personal opinion, isn't that good. Sure, he can get shields. I think it's like Shields Up or Aegis, or both of them, I believe. And that's really, you're only basically able to take maybe a light. If you have both of them, you might be able to take a heavy. Well, I think now in today's game, you will be able to take a heavy, but that's pretty much it. So do keep that in mind while you are trying to pick up perks for him. But I would run Devour, Endurance, and of course Fresh Focus. Now, with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his hero-specific moveset. Now, up on the screen right now, you'll be seeing what the game wants to teach you within the hero tactics, as in the specific combos and stuff like that. So, I'm not specifically going to talk about the combos, but I will talk about more specifically about the Raider, what you can and cannot deflect, or I'm sorry, not deflect, but cancel, go into your zone attack, what you can use as a finisher, stuff like that. So up on the screen right now, you will see the combos, and let's get into the hero-specific moveset. So, of course, renown, you earn more renown in outnumber fights by controlling objectives and killing enemy soldiers to unlock your feats in a match. You are a vanguard. It basically doesn't matter what you do, you will still gain renown. Revenge mode, again, boost damage and health. All attacks are uninterruptible. Parries and throws knock enemies down, and attacks are auto-parried upon activation. The same old revenge we always know and love. So, interruptible chain heavies. The second and finishing heavy attacks of a chain are uninterruptible. Now you have Stampede Charge. Hold square on PS4 after picking up a target to continue sprinting. Upon releasing square on the PS4, the target will be thrown and knocked down. Now you have your wall stun. So the Stampede Charge a target into the wall in order to pin them, stun them, and deal a little bit of damage. Bystander Collateral. Enemies that Raiders charge into while Stampede charging will be knocked down. For every enemy knocked aside, the target of the Stampede charge will lose some stamina. Controlled Throw. Hold square on the PS4 upon attempting to throw with a guard broken target in all directions except forward. In order to keep hold of them while swinging them around, release the throw or released to throw them in the direction desired. Raider can only swing the target for a little less than a full turn around roughly 330 degrees. So guard break into stampede charge. A forward throw performs as a guaranteed stampede charge on the target, having the same functions. Raider Storm. Zone attack is unblockable and comes from the left guard. Raider's Fury. Attempting Raider Storm during a chain changes the attack into Raider's Fury. Raider's Fury switches the attack coming from the right guard, which now this deals drastically more damage and ends the chain. Raider's Zone Cancel. Cancel Raider Storm and Raider's Fury during the startup will circle on the PS4. Now you got your executable. Unlock most zone attacks. Raider is able to initiate an execution if the Raider Storm or Raider's Fury deals the finishing blow. Heavy to guard break. So press square on the PS4 during the startup of a heavy attack, Raider Storm or Raider's Fury to feint into a guard break. Storming Tap. Storming Tap will deal a bit of damage. The attack always comes from the top guard. So Storming Tap variations. You can cancel any heavy attack, Raider Storm or Raider's Fury with a light attack during the startup to feint into a Storming Tap. And Storming Tap chains. Storming Tap can be followed with a light or heavy finisher or Raider's Fury. So that's pretty much everything about the Raider whenever it comes to his feats, his perks, and the hero-specific moveset. Now, the Raider as a character in general, what's the best way to use him? How to use him? How do you get good with him? And one of the things that I would say is definitely, if you're planning on maining the Raider, if you're having some trouble with them, definitely get a little bit better at feinting. And so you have to improve your feint game quite a bit with him. Now the reason being with the Raider is because a lot of the times there were people that back in the day would farm a level 3 character or a level 3 bot. Now back then you couldn't pick and choose who you wanted that level 3 bot to be. Back then it was guaranteed to be the Raider. So hence why a lot of people that are playing this game now understand kind of the Raider's moveset, what he cannot do, and everything like that. So you're going into a fight with someone already knowing what you can and cannot do. So it's a little unfair to you to begin with, but you can still win a lot of your fights when you kind of rely on your hyper armor. So that is your second and your final heavy. Also, if you go into usually like a light heavy combo, so your light's pretty quick. So if you do light heavy, that second heavy will be you will have hyper armor during that, so kind of use that to your advantage. But also don't swing from the same side, change it up a little bit. You know, you want to do light heavy heavy, heavy heavy light. You know, you just kind of want to do many different things to kind of keep your opponent going, okay, which way is he going to throw. There's a lot of times in a lot of games that I play as the Raider that simply without even feinting, if you do that enough, you can kind of keep the opponent on their toes a little bit. And definitely go in through your guard break into your stunning taps. You know, definitely keep that up. Now, the stunning taps, of course, doesn't have the blind effect onto them anymore, but it's still something to kind of throw them off guard. Like, oh crap, you know, he used to throw a heavy after this. Now he's hitting me on the top of the head with his pommel. So that's something just to kind of think about as well while using the Raider. So. Hopefully I answered a lot of questions, comments, concerns with the Raider. If I did, great. If not, definitely leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to see what pointers you would like to give upon the Raider as well. So as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.